Welcome to Empirical Peapod.
Did you listen to her episode?
When I was running.
While you were running?
Yeah.
Do you like... I have a tendency to kind of tell people their history instead of letting them tell me, because you hear rumors or I just fill in my own blanks.
No, I kind of like that. I told my mom there's multiple times where I was like cracking up. I was like, your banter is like... You remind me a lot of my uncle, Purim's husband, Eric. Mm-hmm. Just that like... I don't even know what it is. Like dry, blunt humor that, I find
being
funny.
a dick. It's
fine. Right.
Yeah.
Brutally honest.
Yeah. All right. So today we're here with Vada Marshall. Now, I'm curious too. You ended up staying or keeping Marshall because Silver was your mom.
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't even have that last name anymore.
No.
So, do you ever think about wanting to be Walsh? I know you have a lot of Walsh tendencies.
I definitely am a Walsh, for sure. And
it is a verb.
Right. I Walsh a lot. I Walsh around. I do think about it. I don't really think of Marshall as defining my personality. I'm a teacher, and I go by Miss Vada.
Really?
Yeah. I love my first name. I love the uniqueness of it all. I have always said I didn't want to waste a cool first name like Vada on being a teacher, so my students call me Miss Vada. Some of them call me Vada. Actually, a lot of them don't call me anything because they don't speak. But
or a lot of them will just be like, hey.
Right, yeah. They're just grunting at me, yelling at me.
Do you find that other, like some older teachers or teachers in general get a bit of case of the ass when they're like, it's Miss Marshall?
At the beginning, I was a little nervous. I had, like, supervisors and admin and stuff calling me Miss Marshall, too, but then people come into the room and be like, what do you go by? And I'm like, it's Miss Vada, and I tell them the same story. I'm like, I like my first name. Like, I want my students to identify personally with me. I don't feel like a Miss Marshall. I feel like a Miss Vada, you know?
That was always my thing, too.
With that name.
I was always, just call me Tim.
Yeah.
Like, it levels the playing field. I think it makes you more approachable.
Yes.
Like, there's not a hierarchy here.
Right.
I'm not above you. Like, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
But some people have that ego where it's like, well, I'm important.
Right.
So.
Well, and especially in my classroom, it's not like you need to work on your respect and hierarchy and calling me Miss Marshall. Like, we're working on, like, answering yes or no and, like, deciding what we like and we don't like. Like, if you can say the V in my name at all, like, we're doing great.
Yeah. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but we'll get there to
sorry.
Actually, that's all right. If you listen to the show, you know it jumps around.
For sure.
Like a normal person with ADHD, for sure. It's very...
And I'm definitely on that track, so feel free to get me back in line.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's going to reel me in.
Right.
But let's start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Where's that?
Well, as I told your mother when I told her when she got pregnant.
Yeah.
Which ended up not being true at all.
I like that story, though. Yeah, that's a good one.
I do prefer my version.
Yeah.
But... I can't. They were still in high school. For those that don't know, Vada is Dan Walsh's and Silver Marshall's daughter.
I like to tell people I was a frat baby.
A frat baby?
Because people my age know what that means.
So I don't know what that means.
Like, I grew up with, both my parents finishing college with a 4-year-old. So I was, hanging around all their friends. And, I feel like people nowadays will have a kid my age, that's the frat baby, They're
that's
just like,
funny,
they got all these group of friends that are also then their friends because you're the first one in that friend group to have a kid.
Do you how young can you have a memory of realizing, because you are by default part of the group of friends as a child, everybody, you're kind of like everybody's baby.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
A little bit. I have. One of my earliest memories is my 4th birthday. We were living at a house in Yorkville. I think it was my 4th because I had a strawberry shortcake cake. And
delicious.
Yeah, which checks out. I was really sick, I think, like laying on the couch, flu or something, but it was my birthday party and my mom wanted it to be fun, and like, so all my mom's friends were there. Like, it was just that like type of friend group. I don't even know if my dad was there or his side or whatever, but I very specifically remember having the entertainment of that birthday party being splitting the friend group up into sides and making both of them create dance routines and then come present them one by one to me, and I would be the judge of who had the best dance routine.
Right.
So it felt pretty normal. I mean, people who were my mom's close friends were my close friends, my dad's close friends were my close friends. Like, yeah.
Do you feel that too, like as you grew up, like where you're like, oh, or has it ever hit you where like this isn't necessarily normal, this kind of group to stay together for, we're going on 40 years now?
Well, especially as I get to be older than, you know, my parents were when they had me now, and being like, well, I don't have that kind of friend group. Like, what happened to all my friends?
Yeah,
you know?
it's weird,
like,
right? Like, 'cause it always becomes normal because you grew up in it.
Right.
And then, like, you're like, is something wrong with me?
Happened? Yeah. It's like a new sense of, like, loneliness and, like, oh, okay. Like, I'm figuring it out.
Luckily, you have everybody to kind of lean on.
Correct.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Except that you moved far away, which we'll get to.
Yeah. That was my own fault.
But when one of the things that your mom had mentioned too was in most people it's an old saying, it takes a village to raise a baby, and you had so many different people kind of have their hands in your upbringing, as far as, you know, your mom, your dad, and each of their parents, like, which are some of the best people ever.
Yep.
But what was that like actually living through it?
I don't know that I've done a lot of like reflection on it recently, so it again felt very normal in the moment.
It's weird when you hit a certain age and you kind of look back and you're like, maybe that wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like I've been having a lot of those.
Not that
recently.
It was like a negative thing per se, but it was just like, oh, that isn't necessarily normal.
Yeah, like other people didn't do that as well, and I wish like in times like this I could, you know, blurt out examples, but I feel like I just went to visit my grandparents, and my boyfriend was with me, and he's like, you are just like them. Like, I feel like a lot of like traits and quirks and parts of my personality are from them, and I think that if you spent the same amount of time with my dad's parents, like, you would say the same thing. I think I get a lot of my like quirks from their parents because I spent so much time with them.
Yeah, I think that's still one of those secret things that's a gift, because I feel like you grow up and it's normal, and then you get a little older and you're like, okay, maybe that wasn't normal. It doesn't mean it was bad.
Yeah.
But then when you get even older and you're like, I'm so lucky I got to spend that time.
Right. So now I get on the track of, and this is just what I do with everything in my life, is like, well, now I feel guilty because like they're my parents too. Like I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like all these people helping too. So like when Mother's Day comes around and Father's Day comes around, like I put a lot of pressure on myself to, and not even just that, but
I think that's going to be a theme.
Yeah, if you know that without me even saying that, then here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just counting like the quote unquote adults. That's not even counting like your Uncle Mike,
right?
Who is married to Sarah, my sister,
who also raised me.
Yeah, it was also they've been uncomfortably together forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
dream team.
It's pretty amazing, like you said, in retrospect to kind of look back. But you also have other siblings as well. Mm-hmm. Are they considerably younger than you?
Yeah, they're my brother Dexter. I can say their names, right?
That's up to you. Yeah.
I did. My mom?
It's out there now.
They don't care.
I don't think that her kids came up to your mom. Somebody was too busy talking about herself.
You know, that checks out as well. Dexter is 10 years younger than me. I have to remember that because they're like, oh, how old's he turning? I'm like, okay, I'm turning 24, so he's turning 14.
Yeah.
And then Daisy is 8 years younger than me. She'll be 16 in a couple weeks.
So I didn't realize that's the exact same as Sarah, my brother.
Is it?
Sarah is 10 years younger than Jason.
Yeah.
I'm 8 years younger. Yeah,
that's right. And I think that Corbin is really close to Dexter's age, like birthday in the same month or something. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, very. Because I remember Corbin being so little and then think about Dexter and seeing him grow up. And I'm like, there's no way that kid is that kid's height and age.
Yeah.
And like...
One time my mom tried to force me to hold him when he was a baby and I let him fall on the floor. Because I don't like babies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I
see that for you.
Yeah, he slid right down onto the floor. And everybody was like, gasping. I was like, I told you not to put that baby on my... Yeah. So, I think you predominantly stayed with your mom, right? Or was it pretty even?
Yeah, no, I guess it was more with my mom, especially when I started taking care of the kids. And I like to call them the kids. I feel like everyone in my family does, and that's just what I do now.
But they both lived in Oswego, so you didn't have to... You always went to the same school?
Yes.
And stuff like that?
Yep.
Did you go to Oswego?
Yes. I went to Oswego. It was nice for both my parents to be in the same town and then both of their parents to be in the same town. So, like, going between everyone, I was always in, like, the Oswego, sports and school and bands and all the things.
I feel like you've always been busy.
Oh, yeah. I can't sit still. I don't like to do nothing. I always have something going on. Just yesterday, Daisy and Dexter, I said, hey, I'm going to get sushi with my dad. And they said, you're always on some sort of side quest. Like, it's true. I can't sit still. I'm always doing something.
What do you suppose that's about?
The ADHD of it all.
Do you find, like, your brain starts wandering when you sit?
Yeah, some real not cute thoughts.
Yeah.
I have dealt with, like, mental health stuff for a very long time, but I'm newly going to embark on my ADHD journey and learn a little bit more about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which school did you go to then for grade school?
Southbury.
Southbury?
I went to Eastview for kindergarten and first grade. I will remember walking.
Really?
Yeah, with my mom for a little bit.
I don't know where she lived.
Right on Chicago Road.
Oh, right, the main street. So right behind Eastview.
Yes, right behind it. So I would go back and then walk through. I would walk to OHS too.
Wow.
For a lot of it until I got my dad's stick shift car, which was phenomenal.
Can you drive a stick shift?
Yeah.
That's the same car. One night he tried to teach me how to drive stick shift.
I believe that.
We were coming from our friend Shoger's house. And it was like me, T, Carrie, Dan. We're all in the car, and I didn't drink at the time. That's how old it was.
Right.
And
he's
like, you could drive, and I'm like, I can't drive stick. And Dan's like, I'll teach you. And I couldn't even make it 10 feet in the parking lot.
Yeah, I was 16. I think I was 16. He was like, all right, you can have a car and learn to drive stick. Or you can not have a car. Right. So I wanted a car. And
it's not that
I learned
hard.
in a weekend. I think I cried a bunch. Got really frustrated, tried to give up, got back on it, and figured it out. And now that's my biggest flex. I'm like, yeah, I could drive stick.
I feel like it's a pretty nice flex to have.
It is, for sure.
Especially this day and age, I feel like it's becoming a lost art. What junior high did you go to then?
Trauber.
Okay, because Trauber always messes me up because it's not a school anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know when that happened.
It's the school.
It is?
Yeah. Trauber's still Trauber.
That's what I thought, but like...
When it moved from the YMCA building to the new location off Plainfield Road out...
It's not... Wait, Trauber's not the same building?
As the YMCA?
I don't...
No.
In that little neighborhood there?
No.
That's not Trauber?
No.
Well, that is
right.
Trauber.
That's where my mom and my aunt and stuff went to school. Yeah.
Right.
Did you go there?
I did.
Yeah. And my dad went to Thompson.
No, he went to Thompson. Yeah.
So no, it's still Trauber and Thompson for Oswego.
But they just threw the name on a new building?
Correct.
That makes it
kind of... And the old
I'm having feelings about this?
Well, you can have your feelings, but people had their feelings like 15 years ago when this happened.
Is that what it happened?
Yeah, like a long time ago.
All right.
It became then the old Trauber building, and people still call it Old Trauber, became the YMCA and like a senior citizen center or something, and just like a community building. And now, actually right by Southbury, like right across from that neighborhood, is the building for Trauber.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I haven't been down there in a long time. Now I want to.
Yeah.
And then you said you went to Oswego High School.
Mm-hmm.
Was the other high school existing then?
Yeah.
Okay.
East was there. They were still I feel like doing weird stuff with the boundary lines. But I lived, like I said, right by OHS and would walk and stuff. So that was...
Yeah, I was going to say, wherever you stayed, you're right there.
Yes, even, with my dad's address. I think I did some of that in junior high because they were changing the boundary lines. And I, at one point, mid-junior high, was supposed to switch to Thompson. I was like, I'm not interested in that. My aunt works at Traver. I've been to Traver already. All my friends are here. And so I think I ended up switching to my dad's address and being able to still go to Traver that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you were coming up through junior high, high school, like, did you have a time when you started kind of thinking, I want to go this direction? Because I feel like once you got to college, like, you already kind of had zeroed in on where you were going.
In terms of, like, career path and what I want to do and stuff.
Did that happen? Did you feel that in junior high or high school?
Yes, both. I think I always knew I wanted to work with kids, and I think growing up, like, hanging out with Daisy and Dexter all the time and being their caretaker.
Because if this is around, your junior high time, they were babies.
Correct. So I'm a junior high kid changing diapers and making lunches and getting outfits ready and, like, doing the mom stuff. And
did you feel like you had to play mom? Or did you feel like you had to, or do you feel like it was expected of you?
My mom always says I was the best husband she never had. So I don't feel like talking about this. She's going to say, that never happened.
What an interesting thing to say.
Yeah. So I remember having a conversation about it, and at the time I was, like, all for it. But I think growing up and looking back on it is when I start to see, like we talked about before, not everyone did that. Not everyone was just expected to, stay home on a Saturday to hang out with their siblings because there's no other option. And, like, I'm grateful now that I didn't come to resent that so much that I don't want anything to do with it anymore, Like, I'm learning how to now, as a almost 4-year-old, be the sibling role rather than the parent role. And
what does that mindset look like? Because having to kind of be in that at an uncomfortably young age, to where, like, you might not even have an idea what it looks like because of there's so many hands in your raising anyways that are all different. Yeah. Like, when you start realizing that, like, you're a well-adjusted, smart kid, you always have been, but realistically, there's a lot of different people pulling you in a lot of different directions. Yeah.
That's on the outside. All that pulling in the different directions, you have to see that on the inside. Yeah. Or I feel that on the inside.
That's what I mean. Like, it's got to be tough to reconcile and then to apply at such a young age.
Correct. Because I wanted the best for them, but I'm also a people pleaser, and I want to make everyone else happy. Yeah. And then I start to get older, and I have... I was younger and I had opinions about their school and how they acted and their behavior and their discipline and whatever, because a lot of that was my responsibility. So now when they're older and those things come up and I have an opinion again and it differs from my mom's, it's hard to bite my tongue or accept the fact that, like, well, that's not my role anymore. Sure. And
maybe you're allowed to have an opinion, but you don't want to undermine your mom in front of the kids.
Correct. So
that's good advice for any relationship. Also, do not undermine each other.
Yes, in front of the children. You correct each other. You have their back in public, and you correct them in private.
Or at least have a conversation and be like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on here?" Yeah. No, so it's just like learning now how to be the sister and be like, well, I'm not grounding you for that. You can tell me anything you want. You can tell me as the first person, like, and instead of telling mom, like, I can be your confidant in that way, but I'm not responsible for the discipline of it and the decisions, and that's where I just, like, have to learn to take a back seat.
Do you prefer that, or do you prefer kind of when it was just even though it being your responsibility, isn't necessarily a good thing or your job, but having to now be older and be like, okay, I can be this safe space. I don't have to be mom, and now I can actually talk to you like a person. I feel like that's huge. It's a huge difference. Yeah. But I feel like it's a much better role also. Do you ever feel like, I wish I could have done this from the beginning?
Yes, but I'm a No, I lost my whole train of thought. I'm a what? This is the ADHD of it all. Control freak. Mm-hmm. Like, I like things my way. And so I don't think in the moment it's like, oh, I don't enjoy doing this. Like, I like having the control. I like being the one to set things up.
Do you feel that for other people? Like, because I feel like I'm a control freak, but only in relation to how to me and my stuff. Other people, when I'm like, do whatever you want.
I think I'm getting better about the way that it expands in terms of people that it has no effect on me, but I still really struggle with that with Daisy and Dexter, because at one point I was so connected, and what they did and how they were controlled affected me too, you know?
That makes sense.
That was part of my own control issues, and now it's like relinquishing that control.
That's got to be tough though still. Yeah. Especially watching people make decisions that don't make sense. That's got to be really hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And doing a little bit of the parental role reversal, like having, I don't even know how to say this, like, I have so much from my mom, but I also have so much from my dad, and my dad is so logical and just like,
he's annoyingly
clear head. It's ridiculous.
He doesn't have a soul. He's so logical.
It's ridiculous. And because I'm so emotional from my mom, which is a great and hard part of me, I am also grateful that I have that logical side from my dad. I think genetically, but also like the way that he was able to raise me too. Just
being around him. It's contagious. Mm-hmm. Also, you'll fall down a lot being around Dan.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yes, I've learned that my logic and my, what are we calling it, klutziness? Yeah. That's the Walsh.
Walsh is a
correct. Still, so just being in situations where I can see how this is going to end for you, like in terms of my mom, or I can see what you're doing and why it's wrong, but I'm the kid and you're not going to listen to me, so I need to figure out how to be there for you and also protect the kids and also maintain our relationship and also let you know that like this ain't right, and but kind of balance all of it at the same time, which is tricky.
That's a lot of plates to spin. That's tough, because I feel like I'm even at that point now, you know, being twice your age, of listening to my mom say outrageous things, and I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, or literally just being like, how does that get to this? Yeah. Like, if you're trying to do this, how does this path make sense?
Mm-hmm, I do a lot of that as well.
And people get pissed.
Yeah, I used to, one of my favorite, like, quotes of my own self was, your priorities are out of whack. It was just like the priority, just like, why, how come I can see it and you can't type of thing. And I think a lot of it stems from when I was thinking about this podcast, I thought about this specifically. They had me so young that as I was growing up, my mom was still a kid and she was also growing up too.
Right.
So I grew up while she was growing up and still learning things. And so we're very close in age and have more of a relationship like sisters or friends or like, you know what I mean? Rather than like a very like maternal figure, because we were both figuring out at the same time. So I think that I had the Walsh side helping me figure things out, and she was doing her thing and then trying to help me figure things out too. So it just didn't balance quite.
I think one of the things that's tough too, like I've run into this a few times with ex-girlfriends or even just friends in general, is sometimes you'll come across people that are so used to not being challenged at all. Like they're just used to whatever I say happens because they don't like, they don't take criticism, or they've been alone long enough where they just aren't used to another voice. Yeah. Even if they're in another relationship, that other relationship doesn't have a voice to challenge them. They're just like, whatever you want to do, nobody cares. Right. So that one's, and I've been described as sharp in the first place. So when somebody comes in and is like, hey, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Then it just throws off their whole mindset.
Right.
And they want to go on the defensive
Correct.
immediately.
Yes.
Even though you're not trying to do anything bad. Because I've literally been like, I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to do and how you're trying to get there, because it doesn't add up while I'm looking at it.
Right.
But they get so pissed.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Right.
That's even worse to be a kid of a kid raising kids.
Right. So it's like I don't really have any sort of like authority, but I know that what I'm saying has value, and I think that maybe this is like an epiphany right now. That's one of the reasons that I struggle so much with like trusting myself, is because I don't quite know like what's right and what feelings are allowed and validated until I go have these conversations with other people, and they're like, no, that like that's kind of the theme of today. Like, no, that wasn't quite how everyone did it, or how it should have been. And so like realizing that later and being like, oh, if I have a feeling a lot, like I could talk to a variety of different people about it, and maybe it's validated in some and maybe it's not. And so being able to like expand my
That's one of the things that I've always really valued, is bouncing stuff off of as many different people, and kind of just being like, because I'm strong enough in my own feelings that I'm not necessarily going to be swayed, but I'm trying to think bigger.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, my little scope is for my personal space. How is this affecting bigger? What do you think? Does this make sense? And kind of getting a lot of different opinions to be like, okay, I still am comfortable in how I feel and how it relates to me, but now I see the bigger picture here as well. Maybe don't be a dick so much.
And I think that's what I need to get better at now, is the confidence in terms of my own thoughts and opinions and perspectives, and starting there and being like, this is right, this is acceptable, this is how I feel, and that's valid, correct. Now let's go expand it and talk about it and get other perspectives. Yeah. Rather than looking for all of them and then trying to figure out which one is correct. Yeah. As opposed to just owning my own. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is huge. So after high school, where did you go to college? Did you go straight down?
Yeah, I graduated high school in COVID.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, because you're about to turn 24.
I was a senior, and we were going on spring break, and they said 2 week spring break instead of 1 week, because COVID, it'll just come back in 2 weeks, see you then. But then we didn't, and never came back. And so I graduated in COVID and stood in front of an auditorium where my classmates' 8x10 photos were taped to the seats of the auditorium. It was really sad. Yeah. I actually gave they like cut valedictorian and stuff, so they had you just like apply for the speech.
Were you the valedictorian?
Speech. No, but I gave the speech. Like I applied or auditioned.
Oh, they didn't take the highest GPA.
No, they had cut that like ranking system and didn't like announce it, and it didn't like play a role. So there was no like valedictorian speech. So they were like...
Well, there was. You said you gave it.
Yeah, but they didn't call it that.
Okay,
I think it was just like the...
Beta speech.
Yeah. So I gave it to that auditorium full of no one. It's recorded on YouTube somewhere.
Really? Did you do it off the cuff, or did you write a speech?
I wrote it, and I auditioned with that speech, and they were like, we like that
Oh,
one.
They had to approve it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you couldn't really do anything.
And I was never going to be able to do that anyway. My own anxiety and
really?
Nerves. I would stand up there and like freak out. Yeah, for sure.
I always am curious what I would do.
Maybe it's better that no one was in the room.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be kind of put in that situation to see if I could rise to that occasion.
Yeah.
Because like I do this show with nothing.
Right.
And I kind of do it on a feeling of meeting the guests. A lot of these guests, like this is the first conversation I've had with them. Like we know each other forever, but we never. But
never talked deeply like this. Yeah.
Right, but like there's like I've got a basic outline of just.
Right.
These are what normalities would be in an interview kind of thing.
Sure.
But it's gonna go off the rails, and that's my favorite part.
Yeah,
when it goes off the rails.
Best part.
So I'd love to be forced into a situation where, like, all right, you're gonna go into a group of people and you have to give a speech and fill like 20 minutes. Good luck.
Yeah. Talk about anything.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
But I would make me cry I would probably throw up thinking about it.
Oh yeah, I was like shaking hours beforehand. Like
Why didn't you apply for it, knowing that, or did that come later?
No, I knew. Like that's just who I am.
When you say that, what do you mean? That's who you are.
I auditioned for like the higher bands in high school and stuff, and would throw up before every audition. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like would bawl my eyes out after like choir concerts because I was just like. It's the anxiety. And
even then, but you weren't singled out because you were part of the group, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But still, I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, and I still like performed in high school and college and like bands.
I say you went the musical route just like your mom and your dad are both unbelievable musically.
Yes.
And you did the same thing. You started junior high or high school?
Junior high.
Well, and always percussion?
Always percussion. Yeah, I did. I walked in there and tried to blow out of the French horn and the clarinet. Never happened. They were like, okay.
I started with
something else.
My mom was like, a trumpet, and it was so hard.
Yeah. My mom was like, I have a full-size marimba in my basement, and her dad taught her piano. And they were like, oh, okay, so you're a percussionist. So that worked out. But I forgot what we were talking about now.
Well, we just skipped back to
school.
Your musical journey, which went all the way through high school and into college. But so...
Oh, yeah, my nerves.
Yeah, we were talking about getting to college, and you went down to Champaign. Mm-hmm. What's the school down there?
Yeah, it was right after...
What's the name of the school down there?
U of I. Yeah, so it's University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Yeah.
There's lots of different branches, but the UIUC is the one down in Champaign-Urbana. So I... graduated in COVID, left at the normal time, and just like stayed in my dorm down in Champaign and did classes online.
You didn't take any time off? Like you just went straight to college?
Yeah, it was the summer months, like normal, that I was getting ready, but then just like
by August.
Yep, I was in the dorm, and they had like an option where I could have taken the classes online from home because of COVID and not paid but I wanted to be there. Like
you wanted to spend as much money as possible.
That's correct. Yeah. Well, luckily I got most of it covered.
Really?
Yeah. It ended up being a scholarship for like it's based on like parental income.
Sure.
And so because my mom and dad are not together, I was able to only use one of them.
Yeah.
And that qualified me for some significant financial aid. And so the majority of my loans right now, or really all of them, are just like some housing and food and all that kind of stuff from like the later years.
Yeah. And hopefully those will just get thrown out eventually anyway.
Yes. Yep, that's the goal.
Yeah. I think that's a common sense goal. That should happen. But there's where you really started going after being a teacher.
Yeah.
At this point, were you already convinced special needs, or did that kind of come later?
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I had always known I wanted to work with kids, but I wanted to do music ed. I wanted to be a music teacher. I did like little internships in high school, like going to schools and looking at their elementary music classes. So I knew that it was kids and I knew that it was music, but in high school, there was a collaborative PE program. It was like the special education program, and the general education kids who applied and were accepted were in like this buddy system PE class, and I got really close with all the buddies and all of the teachers, and I ended up TAing, like being a TA as my 8th hour high school class in a special ed room, and loved it. So when I was applying for U of I, my initial application, you had to do 2 different choices. My first one was music ed, and my second choice was special ed. And then the night before it was due, it was literally Halloween because it was due on November 1st. I switched it to special ed as number 1 and music ed as number 2 because I thought that it would be easier to bring the music aspect and my passion for that into my own like special education classroom than vice versa, having like a normal music classroom and like somehow trying to figure out where my like passion for the disability community fits in. Yeah. And so figuring out that like the special ed was number 1, I think was the best decision for me, because I have my minor in music and I'm able to kind of add that into my classroom as much as I want to.
which I think, especially in a special needs setting, is like paramount.
Correct.
Like it's so good, and you can really see an engagement that you might not normally see.
Yep.
Which is so cool. Where do you suppose? What's the infancy and the buildup of your passion for special needs? Where does that kind of start showing?
When I TA'd for that class, I just got really close with all of those buddies, and then all of the teachers were telling me, like, you need to do this as a career, like, it just comes so naturally to you. And so finally, it just felt good. I'm actually writing about this for my grad school application right now, but when I TA'd for that class, there was a teacher, there was nurses, there was, physical therapists and speech therapists and all these people, the students, their families, the gen ed students that would come in, the helpers, the TAs, like, everybody in that class was just like a big happy family. Like, they did Thanksgiving together, and they like went on field trips, and it just felt like a comfy, cozy, homey, like, unit of a family. And that's when I was like, all right, my goal in life is to make my classroom feel like this for the rest of my life. Right. And that will happen in a special ed setting. Through that class, I met one specific girl. Her name's Bella, and she became my best friend of all time. I became like a respite worker, basically. I was her personal care assistant. It was kind of just like through her family, but I ended up working like through respite, through the state for her family, but just like got really, really close with her, and again, like, became part of her family. And that feeling of like, we're like a unit, we're all together, and like nobody from the outside would look in and be like, that's normal. And I'm used to that,
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's your whole life.
Yeah.
Do you think too, like, I don't know how you define your upbringing in terms of being traumatic, and it's different for everybody, right? Like, levels of trauma, and we don't want to compare traumas, but do you find any of that looking back and kind of being like, I want to be able to help other people because of what I've seen and been through?
I do. I had a mental health professional ask me one time, like, have you experienced childhood trauma? And I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, yep. And I knew my mom was with me in the room, and she was like, no, yeah, that makes sense. No, that's true.
There's so many degrees of it, though, also. And like, the normalist thing that most people would not even think about, okay, but how's it affecting the person? Like,
right. I talk about all the time how my 10 out of 10 trauma could be way different than your 10 out of 10 trauma, but we're both experiencing the same amount of trauma.
Because I find too, when I talk to other people, like, I get two reactions: the shocked for like, Jesus Christ, or where I hear what they've been through, and I'm like, I don't even want to tell you mine,
right?
Because I feel like it's nothing compared to that.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and a lot of people throughout my career asked me too, like, do you want to be a social worker? Like, you're so good with the emotional disabilities and that, like, regulation of that, like, it's those, like, emotions. And I'm like, no, because I'm way too similar. Like, I don't want to help, like, do all that, because I'm panicking too. Like, I think that's why I'm good at it.
I think that's one of the things people miss is when you're so good with these emotionally distraught children.
Because I'm emotionally distraught.
I'm an emotionally distraught children.
Yes. So I've been able to find the niche where I'm, doing that, but still being separate enough to where I'm using those skills in a different way for other people who have a lesser opportunity. Like Bella, her sister, asked me, like, why do you do it? And I'm like, because no one else wants to. And I feel like I'm at baseline here. Like, everyone looks at people with disabilities, just in general, especially the population that I work with, where it's very physical and very, like, you look at them and you can tell they have a disability.
Sure.
The majority of people, there's a giant stigma, and they put them off, and those people with disabilities are starting way below. So if I am one of the people that looks at them and is at baseline with them, like, I need to dedicate my life to doing that, because that's not how everyone else interacts with them.
It's a crazy thing, because even
for
myself,
crazy.
It is, like, even for myself, special needs kids people in general always made me uncomfortable.
Right.
Old people always make me uncomfortable.
Sure.
Like, but I don't know why I even ever took the job as a para, but being around them, then you're like, oh, this is awesome. Especially like with, the dependence on the spectrum of autism, like most of those kids function really well, or they function really well in specific areas.
Yeah.
And you learn what's going to trigger them and set them off and stuff, so you can kind of navigate that. But then when I started riding the bus, I ride a special needs bus now, and
right.
3 of the kids have Down syndrome. And Down syndrome always made me most uncomfortable.
Sure.
It's the same thing where there's definitely levels. But they're also so funny.
Hysterical. No, they're hysterical. I worked with them.
They are always in the best mood, and we have the most fun all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's such an amazing thing, selfishly, to be like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And they 100% would fit in any situation.
Yes.
And just bring the room up.
Yeah.
So I feel lucky to have been able to experience that. And kind of try to get over myself of being a baby.
Yeah, that's a good perspective to have, being the one to have that first and then kind of flip that. That's nice.
My favorite thing, too, is when I've told this story before, one of the kids, like, I sit with him all the time because he wants me to sit by him all the time.
Is this where he pees on you?
You said what?
Is this where he pees on you?
No.
That's a good one.
That is not a good one. But we always, like, play around and joke around. But I'm playing around, and I would be like, hey, what's that over there? When he looks, I'll, like, tickle him or something. And then he does it to me, and when I look, he slaps the shit out of me as hard as he can in the face. And I can't help but laugh.
Right.
So I'm like, that's my fault.
Yeah.
I taught him that.
Joke. Yeah, right. I taught him that joke.
But it's like, it just makes me laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please don't hit me again.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I had both spectrums this year where it was the hysterical best friends, like we're doing dances together, and like I had a student that called me with Down syndrome who called me Shoddy, like what's up Shoddy, and who called me Sir, Sir.
Yeah.
I think it's because I called him that. But he was so popular. He is so popular. He'll be a senior this year. Walks around the building, all the gen ed kids, the teachers, be like, what's up? Like everyone just like knows him, which is so cool how like that's the goal of the program, is to integrate it in that way.
Sure.
But then I also had students this year that just like literally beat my ass.
Right.
And yeah, you see the difference and how, especially how each person interacting with them affects it. Like I had 6 TAs and another co-special educator, and they react to each person differently, Yeah,
but you've done it a couple of years now. You've at least been in classes.
Yes.
So, because one of the things that is always looming and you know exists, but you don't realize until you have to deal with it, is those kids leave.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, that was one of the hardest things for me. Was like, it was easy in the school because they understood and they were, whatever. But I remember like the last week of school on the bus, I was like, they didn't understand. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be the last time we probably see each other.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And they have no idea.
Like, okay, bye.
Yeah, and they're just like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like,
deuces.
bruh.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Give me a hug.
Yeah. It's tough because, like, they don't grasp that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they process in general. Like, they just probably move on to the next person, which is great. Like, good for them.
Yes.
I'll sit here in a little puddle.
Yeah.
And be like, oh.
Right, yeah. Like, you were my friend
But you deal with that at your level as well, probably even worse.
Definitely. Especially this year I am taking a new position than I am from last year. It's a little bit more hands-on, high needs. We're working on mobility, so walking devices and communication devices and the toileting and all that kind of stuff. So I sat down and like told my classroom this year, like, hey, I'm not gonna be your teacher next year. Like I'm going next door. Like I'll still be around, but I'm not gonna be your teacher. And they're like, okay, okay. But with this new position, I am in the high school level of where I student taught the elementary version of for so long. So as I continue to teach in this position, I will just then get all of my students who I thought was like, okay, this is the end, I'm done teaching you. Yeah. But now I will have them in high school and they will all just like come to me. So that's really exciting. But even the ones that like move away, or I just finished summer school, like they'll stay in elementary and I'll go back to high school. I'm like, I'm gonna miss you. Like, you develop like legit relationships with them. That's why like my friend Bella is like, we are so close because like, I mean, it's just the same as any other friend.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. That makes sense. It's still heart-wrenching. Mm-hmm. I feel like you can't, it's something you can't prepare for.
Right.
Because you don't know what every school year is going to look like. But even, like you said, even the hardest years, you're going to build a rapport with these kids.
Yeah.
That's like the whole point.
Yeah, no, like they said, like graduation goggles. Like I was stressed all during the year, and now it's my last day teaching them, and I'm like, wait, I'm going to miss you slapping me in the face. I miss you ripping my hair out.
That's not a trauma response at all.
No. Yeah. Well, funnily enough, that's going to be my grad school degree probably, is trauma-informed education.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the direction we should be moving in general.
For humankind.
Yeah. And I think we're still in this infancy, but I'm glad that it does feel like a pull that way.
Yep, it's a newer degree, and that's why I want to do it. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that another couple years or
2.5?
Yeah.
I don't even want to say this because I don't want to put it out into the universe. The deadline is literally today. I need to press that submit button real quick. I know. Yeah. I know. I just need to finish on my statement.
You have to finish that paper you're talking about for that, or can you just...
Yeah, I'm just like typing up the end of it and then
so it's ready
putting it in the application. Yeah, like everything is done. My letters of recommendation, everything is like done. I just need to get going.
Is there a reason you've put it off so much?
It's one of those things where it's a task that's so big and so important that it's too scary and too intimidating, and now I can't address it at all.
Better procrastinate to the last second. Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's that part of where it makes you feel like you're still in control.
Yeah.
No matter how big this thing is.
I know. No, I know. It's due. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
One of the things, too, I'm curious about is because your parents weren't together very long after you were born.
Yeah, I don't remember them together at all.
Yeah, none of us do. I remember prom, that's it.
Yep.
And even that, I don't remember them there. It's just a story that I made up.
You're right, exactly.
But so with all the different hands raising you, but now there's a bunch of different people coming into their lives. You know, through different new relationships and stuff that. That's got to be a whole new level of positivity, annoyance, building relationships, drama / trauma. Like,
correct. Because
you build these relationships with people or you don't because maybe they come and go too fast or maybe they're just shitty in the first place. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you kind of deal with that? Because now you feel, too, like you already put yourself in a position where you're trying to, as you get older, protect your siblings because you would have gone through this your whole life, and then eventually having to watch them do it, it's got to be even more annoying.
Yeah. I feel like as you're talking and saying very general things, I'm like, I know what you're talking about there. I know what you're talking about there. Like, that's correct here. Yeah, and especially on, like, mom and dad's side, I got two very different, like...
Yeah, well, they're very different people.
Aspects of that, yeah. Very.
It was... I remember when they started dating, I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I love them both, but still, I was like, huh.
It still doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
How...
Well, Dan is a beautiful man. Silver's adorable. Like, she's great. But she's crazy, and he's too logical.
Not great. She's very... emotional brain, and he's very logical brain.
I think maybe for a moment they balanced each other out where they were at that point, which is great.
And now I'm here.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah, you're that little balance.
Yes, right. That short amount of time.
Yeah, but I think it's amazing that they've grown into where they're at though now, where they can co-parent, everybody's involved and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure they had their hiccups and trips along the way.
For sure, but as far as I can remember, and now especially seeing the discrepancies between that and my siblings' dad and that type of co-parenting relationship, I mean, it's going to be different, but they co-parented so well. Like, it was a non-issue for me. Yeah. And if it was mental health stuff that I went through in my brain because of it all, where like there's two things happening on Christmas Eve, one at mom's, one at dad's. Who do I go to? When do I go? How do I not like upset anyone? How do I please everyone?
Well, that's tough to already just having to do two things, but sometimes, I don't know if this has happened to you, if you remember, it feels like sometimes you have to be two different people. Like, okay, when I'm with the Walshes on this, when I'm with the Marshalls on this.
It's exactly that.
And that starts pulling you apart.
Yep, I got to be as a one individual person pulling you apart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I was at my mom's. I got to be the older sibling, the caretaker role, the, you know, whatever it was, big family everything. But then at my dad's, I'm the only child and I'm the center of attention and it's all about me. And
everybody lets you make all the decisions.
Yeah.
The most annoying thing in the world.
Yep, and I get to tell everyone where to sit at the dinner table. And
I like that you are aware of that.
Oh yeah, I knew that. And we played the dinner game. And I had my dinner dress, and
it's kind of awesome though. Like it's kind of, especially because it's easy to. I'm gonna use the word neglected, but I don't mean it that harsh. At one side, and then like being in control on the other side.
Yeah.
And not in a controlling way, but just whatever you want.
Yes. And I know what you mean. Not neglected, but split between siblings for sure. Yeah. And having that attention prioritized elsewhere.
And so they have a different dad. Do they not co-parent well?
They do. I think they do.
Now, or they always did?
They co-parent fine. I think that just seeing it made me realize like how lucky I was to have my parents be so chill. I don't feel like I was ever put in the middle very often between my mom and dad. I feel like they were able to talk things out a lot, and if I did feel put in the middle, I said, hey, yo, I'm feeling put in the middle, figure this shit out, and they did.
Do you remember that from a young age, like being that assertive?
Putting them in a group chat and being like, I'm stressed, like I'm group chat, leaving group chat, talk. Like I can't.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Like you guys figure this out, you're the adults.
And so I think a little bit with my siblings, and again, because I was a parent and I see them in that way, I see a little bit of them being put in the middle, and not even necessarily on purpose, just the way that things are
certain things just come up
working out. And so that's just a little bit of a realization that like that's a different type of co-parenting relationship. I think that they co-parent better than they
a relationship.
Yep. So I think that they're both in a better place.
That's good. It's important to be able to recognize when something's not working out. And it's weird how we can get our egos wrapped up in that. Where, like, if things don't work out perfectly, somehow we take it personally.
Yes.
Which is weird. Yes. Like, we did what we could. It didn't work out. Like.
Yes. There's no, like, weird jealousy. They're able to be very happy for each other as well. And I think that's nice, too.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. If I ever had a kid with another person, I'd be like, no, you're mine forever. Like, I don't know how they do that shit. But
I think it becomes, that's the initial mentality.
Right.
But once reality is reality, you start kind of shifting and being, hopefully, you start kind of shifting. Some people don't.
Right.
But you hopefully kind of evolve and you're like, okay, I get it. It is what it is now. I don't want to ruin this person's life.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, I was talking to Daisy yesterday. She's, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? I'm like, she's like, you're already 24. Like, I'm like, she's like, mom was, 18, 19, dad was 23. I'm like, yeah, but I want to do it in the order that you're quote unquote supposed to. Like,
whatever
I want to have, right. But like, have a boyfriend, have a relationship, have a house, get married, then have a kid, then like, and have that father be the father of my kids. And like, that is a goal for me, I think, because it was always in the distance. As a
do you want to have kids?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not enough to just raise them all day.
I know, and that's, cool. That's what I said. Like, I would either love it or hate it, and apparently, like, I love it. Like, I want my own. I have thought about, like, adoption, too. I think that having I think I might struggle with not like having my own kid that is mine and attached to me and related to me.
Really?
But I also think that...
That's such a weird...
I know.
Thing.
I also think that I could really easily get over that because I have a cat and I feel like she came right out of me, you know? Like, it could be anyone, you know? And especially with, like, the students that I work with and the way that I can form relationships and the trauma that I see from that community and the way that children are brought into the world and raised and all of that. Like, I see the parenting side on that as well. Like, I also struggle to bring another kid into the world knowing that there are so many out there that need a better life and upbringing, and I could easily give that to them. So I don't, the fact that I'm 50-50 right now is like, no, not having kids anytime soon. Like, still figuring it out, but those are my thoughts for now. But I could see myself.
I'm always amazed by people's kind of feelings, sort of like, that was one of the things that I really like talking to your mom about. Because she's, married now, new husband. It's like, people have this, and I don't mean a shot at your mom, but people have this arrogance of like, well, we want to have our own kids.
Right.
And I'm like, that's so shitty to the kids you have.
It's not happening.
Yeah, for sure. But like, in general, like that's a very common idea that people have. And it's like, okay, well, what about the 6 kids you already have that still need you?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I cracked up at that part too. My little jog.
Yeah, well, it's just crazy how you kind of become tunnel vision.
Yeah,
and like it is selfish. Like I don't think that it's malicious, but it is selfish.
But it is for your own self.
Yeah. So it's just a crazy little thing. And you said you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
How long have you been in a relationship?
We dated in high school and broke up and did some like on and off here and there in college, but have been pretty solid for 2-3 years now.
That's a long time.
Yeah. No, we've been like best friends since high school. So we're doing really well right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to the show regularly, but I talked to my cousin who's just turned 19. And she's got a very thing where she's got 5 siblings. She's the oldest, so she's kind of had to raise them with her mom and stuff. And it's the same thing but like your generation is so far ahead mentally and like mental health wise. Like we were just saying, like we're in the infancy.
Yeah.
And your guys' generation is just taking that next step.
Very aware.
Yeah. I feel like the millennials were the first generation to be like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like Gen Xers suffered silently.
Yep.
Boomers created all of our problems. Yes. But millennials were like, I don't like this.
Right. And now Gen Z is like, how do we fix it?
And every generation since has been like, let's do something about it now instead of whining like the millennials. Which is good. Like should keep definitely. I like that we're pushing that farther and farther. Do you think that you'll stay? Like I know we just talked about new position, going back to school. What is the ultimate goal there?
So, honestly, music therapy is still in the back of my head. I am the type of person that like I'm not doing like the normal track thing. Like I had a high school job where like my best friend became my family, and like it all is very unique. Like I have a unique niche of passions in terms of like the music and disability community. Yeah. So that is one thing that's in the back of my head that like I would love to eventually expand into that and have like no pressure to do that now. Like be a regular old teacher for however many years and not put pressure on myself, but like build that up as I go. But the kind of next steps in my head are I want to continue to get my master's for free at U of I.
Because they're paying for it.
They're paying for it.
You stayed down there after school.
Yep. So I will take a student teacher under my belt. This is like kind of what I did when I was in college. Now the reverse. So I will take a student teacher and help them through my classroom and their college experience. And for every semester that I do that, the U of I will then comp a semester's worth of grad school. So I'll take five student teachers for 5 semesters, and they'll pay for 5 semesters of grad school.
That's awesome.
in theory, it'll work out like this.
Yeah. Well, I figured you're somebody who has it mapped out.
Yeah. I'm a planner, if you can tell. So that should take 2.5, 3-ish years max. But then I really want to get out of state.
Really?
I do. I love the West Coast. Yeah. Like, my boyfriend talks about California all the time, but I don't care too much about that. Like Oregon, even Montana, Washington. We just went to Colorado. I've been a couple times and loved it. Like, I want to go where it's pretty, where it's not hot all the time, where, like, I go around Illinois, I'm like, can't just be this. Cannot just be this.
Yeah, you hope not.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Colorado's been creeping into my heart again
I would
lately.
like to make it out there at some point soon.
Yeah. That's funny because my friend Amy is a realtor out there, and she's just talking about how it's like you can start property in Denver is becoming really affordable all of a sudden.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a condo. It depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But like, I would love to snag a condo in Denver.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We went to Telluride.
Oh, yeah?
And it was beautiful.
It's
Obviously, you're not living there unless you're like retired or something. But like,
it is uncomfortably beautiful.
To have that be like your 2-hour weekend trip, like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I've never been out past that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Oregon has always been a bit of a pull just because it's so unique.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be somewhere that is more progressive in general. Like Illinois, people forget that Chicago is progressive.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Illinois is not.
Yeah, and it bleeds out, but
it bleeds to. It's just like there's a circle that bleeds out. But because I live out in DeKalb, where
once you get
it's
too
not.
Far, yeah.
Yeah. People make horrible jokes to you because they're like,
Well, even down in Champaign, like you get the college crew, which helps you a little bit.
Yeah, college is a little progressive, but that's such a small area. Also, it doesn't bleed out much.
Those old souls.
All the locals are like, "Oh, you'll like this horrible joke." Please don't
talk to me.
Please don't.
Yeah, initially moving was kind of ties back into like the family stuff, like. Love you guys. Love what we did here. Need to go figure out my own shit somewhere else.
I like the idea of you talking to the family and be like, hey, good run.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
A good one.
I'll
be back for holidays, like, birthdays, but like come visit me. But I need to go like make this my own somewhere else.
Do you think you can do that? Because I feel like you are very family oriented.
Yeah, that's
you
why
realistically
I
feel like you can leave comfortably?
That's why I say initially that was my thought. Just moving 2.5 hours away permanently to Champaign, living by myself, I get super lonely. Yeah. And especially living alone too. I had roommates before in college.
You live alone now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my 2 kitties.
Right.
So.
I mean, that's a huge. I love cats.
Yeah. Oh, and they talk to me and they sleep on my chest and I'm not alone for sure. But yeah, it definitely gets lonely, and so moving down there, I'm like, well, maybe I do want to be around when Daisy graduates college, and when they have like little things on the weekends, or if like I don't know, like I struggle when I'm not able to come home for my dad's birthday because it's during the school year, and like. That's because I'm 2.5 hours away. Like, what if I'm 2.5 hour plane ride away?
Because realistically, you could come up every weekend if you wanted to.
Right, and I do a lot. I don't come up every weekend, and it's a really good distance for me because I can make that decision. Next Saturday, I'm coming up for like a day trip birthday party.
Yeah.
But that's not really an option elsewhere, and especially being the oldest, I still have that guilt of like. And especially with the kids, it's a little less guilt for the adults in the family, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they understand more, whereas like I don't want to feel like I'm abandoning my children.
Sure, but do you feel though also the unfortunate reality of just getting older is like in knowing that you have 4 grandparents that raised you, they're getting older,
right?
And being across the country is very far away when eventually the eventuality of reality sets in.
Yep.
That's tough.
Yep.
And I feel like you're not somebody that would want to not be able to come home for that sort of thing.
No, and especially for that sort of thing too, like I'm not just like I'll come like see you for the weekend. Like, I want to be a part of it.
Right.
It's like I talked about before, learning the, like, parental to then sibling role. Like, I feel like I'm now, as I'm getting older, having to learn the grandchild and child role to now, like, prioritizing myself and what that looks like, still balanced with being family oriented and, like,
well, healthy boundaries.
Yeah. Yes. Not like
because you grew up without boundaries.
Yes. I don't want to, like, have all this resentment and just, like, cut people off and be like, I hated my childhood. I want to leave. Like, get me out of here. Bye. I'm going to do my own thing. Because that would, I just can't. I'm not that type of person, and I have too much guilt. So.
Where do you suppose the guilt comes from?
That's a phenomenal question.
Yeah.
I've been in therapy for years talking about that.
Well, what have they told you?
It's a lot of, like, the people-pleasing tendencies. I think a lot of it is, like, they ask, like, well, you know, did you get, like, all this pressure put on you as a child and stuff? And I always have said, like, no, I feel like I just put that pressure on myself.
I think you came to a point when you started seeing what was happening, and with those different polls, I feel like and again, cut in anyway.
I'm learning so much about myself right now.
But again, interject, please, because I'm just spitballing.
No, absolutely.
But I want to pull this thread because I feel like seeing because realistically, core, you had 6 people pulling you in 6 different directions. And then everybody else around that who also played a part in your upbringing. But I think also because it was not necessarily a broken home, but they weren't together.
Yeah.
I think that most kids that will manifest as, if I do well enough, I can make everybody happy. Mm-hmm. Because they'll be proud of me. Yeah. Because when you're
whole and complete again.
When you're a kid, you like whatever, you do a little drawing and it goes on the fridge. Yeah. And you associate that with success. Right. And hey, everybody's happy. This is great. And now you go to school and you're like, shit, I have to do amazing. Yeah. I have to be the best at every single thing that I agree to. Yeah. Or they'll be disappointed.
And that's what I did. That's how I grew up. Like, I was so hard on myself. Yeah. Cheer, softball, grades, band.
Because you did everything.
All that, yes. And I've always said, like,
And that's also not to say you didn't enjoy those things.
No, not at all. But I continue to say, jack of all trades, master of none. Like, I like to be well-rounded and want to do a bunch of different things. I'm okay at a lot of things, but I'm not really good at, like, one thing.
Right. I'm one YouTube video away from being perfect at everything.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's important to throw as much as you can at the wall just to see what you like what pulls you and what drives you and what's exciting and what doesn't.
And that's kind of where I'm at now, of, like, I had all that stuff set up for me and I was doing it and I was, like, had the routine of, like, being involved in things. Now I'm like, what do I actually like to do? Like, what actually brings me joy and happiness right now? See,
that's huge because, like we said, you're kind of doing that even subconsciously for everybody else. While so now it's finally like, okay.
Now when I'm sitting alone with my cats at home after work, I'm like,
who am I actually? What do I
like? Hobby?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have one right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You literally don't, right?
No, that's, like, literally what I'm, like, trying, like,
explore.
That's a very current therapy talk of, like, I need a fucking hobby. Like, get your shit together, dude.
What do you feel like, if you just sit here and think about it in general, what's something you think you'd like to try or explore that you might enjoy as a hobby?
I want to get back into music, honestly. Yeah. Like, I took a huge step back from that, and
Did you ever write music on that kind of a level?
No, definitely not. But, like, learning songs to play on the piano, playing things out on guitar, like, just, for fun. I'm not doing that anymore, whereas before I was doing that for pleasure and for joy, and now it feels like a piece of work, you know? Yeah. But I talk about how I go to the gym consistently, too, now, and that and, like, playing music are the two things, like, right now that I feel give me that immediate, like, instant gratification, satisfaction, like, oh, I feel good about myself. Because, like, I'm at the gym, I did a workout, like, I'm like, oh, I did it. Or I, am playing the song on the piano, and I can hear how it sounds, and I'm like, this is instant validation of, like, this sounds good, and I'm creating and doing something productive. So it's all about the productivity.
I don't want to be this guy, but so as we just talked about people pleasing, and even your 2 things that you just went to as hobbies.
They're not for me.
No. And they're things that you can track immediately because of results.
Exactly.
I'm playing this correctly.
I'm
I'm seeing a change, or I feel a change in my body. You're still not doing anything as a hobby.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's my current issue.
Yeah.
My two things right now are like not even.
No.
Those
are just things to stay alive.
Yeah. Like I don't feel. I'm at a point where I feel like if I get a hobby, I'm wasting my time, and I have to get that.
Yeah.
Mindset
That mentality
out of my
is
head
tough.
First.
Yeah. Because you don't relax.
Not at all.
Like how do you? You just all the time.
Yeah, I smoke weed. Like
that helps to an extent, I'm sure,
but not always.
It doesn't give you the will to want to go do stuff.
Correct. Yes.
If anything, it just makes me like, it's fine.
Yeah, right. And I'm just like accepting not doing things. Yeah.
I mean, do you like to be outside in general? Like
yes, like nature. I like
fishing.
Outdoors,
is amazing.
hiking and stuff.
Hiking is awesome.
Yeah, I've never got. I mean, I fished a little bit with like Papa Kim. When I was younger in that pond by their house, you know.
That's a nice little pond.
The geese. It is, and there's some bluegills in there.
Yeah,
so.
I hate catching bluegills, but it's at least fishing.
Yeah, but I'm at the point where I'm like Googling like what are hobbies? Hobbies for women.
I like the idea that you're like, what's my hobby?
I'm
Google?
not kidding. Like you think I'm joking when I'm on like Safari and I'm
favorite
like
part. I don't
hobbies
think you're
for
joking.
women like. Scrapbooking, photography, like no.
Yeah. But even like it's still all stuff. Like it's not to do the stuff; it's to get to an end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what do you?
Which is the problem? That's
right.
Yes.
And a lot of things do have that built into it.
Yep.
But like I love reading. Comic books are the best. And there's not like you can say it's to get to the end of that book, but there's always another book.
Enjoying while you're doing.
Well, it's like dancing. Like the point of the dance is not the end; it's the dance.
See, I thought like plants were my hobby too at one point. Like that's not that's just because I want them to be pretty. And when people come into my house, they see that I'm like the cool plant lady. Like I don't enjoy repotting it.
Yeah.
I enjoy that I have a plant in my house.
Yeah, and they can be fickle and a pain in the ass also.
Right.
But I do love plants.
I like puzzles. I do a lot of like puzzles and like Legos and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like a decent hobby. I like to do Legos outside. I like to figure out how I can like get like a surface outside and do that. But I need to figure out a more like social hobby. I need to join like a book club, or I was just talking to my dad about like I'm very serious about like I want to join a boxing gym or some like a softball league for fall or something. Like I need to get back out there and like talk to human beings.
Do you feel the need to be social?
Yeah.
I feel like you probably also will only give yourself permission to enjoy something if you feel it's constructive.
Productive. Yep, that's kind of my big thing in the back of my head all the time. I'm like, is that productive or are you just wasting your time?
So what you just said is life. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to.
I need to accept that first. Even like scheduling hangouts with like coworkers or friends from school or like just like social little gatherings. Like I'm not looking forward to the event of them. I'm looking forward to when they're over, and then I can say, hey, I did a social thing today. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
You need to slow down and just gotta live it. You have to. You know what?
I have anxiety leading up to it.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about like how I'm acting as I'm there, and then like when I'm done, I'm like, thank God that's over. Like, good job, you like check off your list.
Yeah. So there's this a very old quote. I believe it's from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, of if you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious.
I'm both.
Right, but you can't because you don't have any presence.
Yeah.
And one of the big things we talk about in these kind of new agey lifestyles is being present and making space. And like saying that and doing that are very different. Yeah. But it's nice to explore that. Have you ever meditated?
I don't know that I've ever like really given it like the chance it deserves.
Yeah, I gotta.
Tried a little bit.
And your brain is probably a waste of time,
right?
Because there's so many things you could be doing.
That's the hardest part.
Sure.
Yeah, once I'm there, I could probably like I did an outpatient treatment where I was like on Zoom therapy every day for weeks and weeks, and like just like very much focusing on my mental health. And after doing that stuff, when I'm sitting there and it's forced and they're like, sit down and we're doing a meditation and it's guided, like I can very easily afterwards reflect on like the benefits of it and why I enjoyed it and why I should continue to do that in my life, and how that would benefit me. Different. The starting it and the doing it is so hard for me.
That's like journaling. I hate journaling.
See, I love journaling. My journal is in my bag now.
Well, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like doing a mind dump is very therapeutic.
Yep.
But I hate journaling so much, but it is a very valuable tool.
Yeah.
I'd rather the meditation I can get behind. I don't have a personal practice either, but it's something I always have in my back pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm of the mind that you can find a meditative state in the mundane in general, because I have a lot of hobbies that are mundane that don't require a lot of brain. I play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
You can just zone out in a very meditative state while not having to really process anything, depending on the game you're playing, and stuff like that. Doing the dishes can be a meditation.
Sure.
Like,
I think that's why I like puzzles and Legos and stuff.
Yeah, it's the exact same kind of... You're getting the same kind of benefit. You're just not focusing on it in the same way. But it's the same where you're not turning your brain off. You're just not holding on to the thoughts.
Yeah.
You're letting it go.
Oh. Yeah, I need to explore that more.
Puzzles are amazing. And Legos are amazing. You get yourself the Death Star. Some of the cool Star Wars stuff, bro.
I guarantee you Ryan has that. My boyfriend has that.
Good.
Big ass one. That,
It's ridiculous, the stuff that they're making now.
That's crazy.
I'd also like to recommend, I believe they made a Transformers Unicron from the 86 or 88 movie cartoon.
No, the biggest one I've done is the Vespa. I'm really into like the florals and the plant Legos and all that. I just got the Keith Haring little guys. Like.
What's cool is like it's weird how much Lego is doing everything. Like there's so many variations,
appealing to
like everyone.
So many people.
You can find anything in Lego. So I think that's really cool, because I think it is, as we become more aware of the autism and ADHD, that is a very comforting thing.
Absolutely.
Like I like doing old school puzzles, like 500 piecers as well. My mom will sit and just word search all day.
Really?
Like she literally watches assholes on YouTube cutting grass and does word searches.
Oh my god.
Like she's retired. I'm like, you got to figure it out, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah. It makes me insane. I just can't stand that these guys are just cutting grass on YouTube and making $10,000 a month. Makes me
amazing.
angry. Yeah. But they figured it out too.
But she's doing it for her.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. It's still boring.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody.
Right.
Like you said, she's got to figure it out for her.
Right. That's what I'm looking for. I need a boring hobby that like takes my mental space and just holds it there.
Yeah. I recommend comic books and wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestling, I mean, it's a TV show.
Yeah, my brother likes wrestling a lot.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you like UFC or like
I don't.
WWE?
WWE.
Yeah, that's what Dexter likes.
That's
too.
wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't like MMA.
Like fighting.
Nah, just because they're dicks to each other, and I don't like that.
Wrestling is what has the aspect of like
it's theatrical.
Almost theatrical. Yeah.
Not almost.
Cool.
It is.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the fun part of it. Is it's more like watching a ballet with storylines.
It's a performance. Yeah, that's fun.
And that's what's fun about it.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my friend last night. We were joking because people want to be like, "Oh, it's fake," and like, that's the point.
Yeah.
It's a TV show. Movies are fake.
Yep.
Like it's the same thing. But if you think about the scope, it's insane. Just Monday Night Raw, just that one show, has been on every single Monday since January 1993.
Whoa.
And it's still going every single week.
Like a new
episode.
That's crazy.
They don't have an off season. So 52 weeks every single Monday, every single year that's been on. And that's one continuation forever. Like every 10 to 20 years, the characters might evolve and change as wrestlers get older and new wrestlers are trained. But that's one continuity.
That's cool.
It's insane.
Yeah, I need something like that to follow.
There you go. And now you've got, 30 years to look back to learn about it.
Yeah, I like going back and doing a big binge.
Yeah. It's going to be painful because a lot of it's terrible.
It's good at the time.
Yeah, you just watch a YouTube video of like, give me the highlights of the last 30 years.
Best stuff.
That'll be better than having to sit through it all. I've sat through it all.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of it's awful. But so what do you suppose is next for you outside of school? And we're looking for new hobbies. Mm-hmm. Where do you see yourself eventually moving? Hopefully, maybe. If you don't move, do you think you'll stay down in Champaign? Once you're done with everything?
No. I think that if I don't move, I will finish my master's degree in Champaign. I think that's kind of what's holding me there. And
is that the 2.5-year thing you were saying?
Yes. Yeah. And then if I stayed with family, it would be like close to family. I know that ideally, and honestly, even now.
It's also if we can afford it by then.
That's a great point. Well, that's the point of my master's. It's the only reason I'm doing it, honestly. I mean, I want to expand my knowledge and horizons in that world and continue to develop, but like, I'll make more money.
Boost your income quite a bit.
Yep.
I'm always amazed that guy, he's done so much extra schooling that the school's paid for, and he makes ridiculous money now. And since he started right after college, he'll be able to retire in his 50s.
Yeah, right.
It's ridiculous.
Right. So I'm trying to get some of those benefits. No, but honestly, I think like the best case scenario, if I weren't getting my degree down there right now, would be close to family, but still having my own apartment, living alone, having my own space to escape to. And
2 hours, is it just 2 hours or 2.5?
It's 3 from my mom from St. Charles.
Oh, yeah.
It's 2:15 from Oswego.
Yeah, because I feel like you said before, that is a nice distance where like you still feel like you're your own in your own little world, but you have the availability really easily. Yeah. I even feel like that in DeKalb. And I'm only 40 to an hour away, but I still feel like I'm isolated enough, and I can go see people if I want.
Right, and that's my thing. My next steps is like less isolation. Whether I stay in Champaign, move to Colorado, move to the West, stay near family, like less isolation and more just like what I try to tell myself is less think and more do. I do a lot of overthinking and like, well, what if? And okay, here's this scenario and here's all the possibilities. Like just go for it instead of thinking about it all the time. Like if I stay in Champaign, immerse myself in that community. If I come here, immerse myself here, like really do the things and figure out what's joyful for me.
I think that's a movement in general. Like the witch recently in the last couple of months has told me to stop thinking. Katie Leeser is the witch, by the way.
Did not know that. Yeah, but I know who that is.
She's just we did a second episode about her journey into astrology and numerology. And like, she's getting so deep. She's on a whole different level
I'll
now.
have to listen to that one.
And that's why I call her the witch, because I mean it in the most loving way. I won't make decisions anymore without the witch's input.
No, I want to like enter my witchy like era.
But she's literally like, I need you to stop thinking. Like, no more thinking, just do.
Just do it.
So every time I start overthinking, I'm like, brain off, just do. Which it's tough to do.
It is.
But once you're at least aware of it, like, oh, I'm starting to overthink.
Yes.
All right, let's just start acting on something.
At least do something.
And I agree to like immersing yourself in whatever reality you're going to put yourself into. Yeah. Because I do think the key,
going all out,
is the secret to life is as much connection as possible. Yeah. And I think people misconstrue like a lot of Eastern philosophy or Buddhist teachings of like detachment does not mean no connection or isolating yourself. The key is to attach as much as you can, because a human being's capacity for love is limitless. Yeah. The key is you're not getting stuck on thoughts, and you're not getting stuck on situations.
I use that word all the time.
Right. You're not stuck. Like everything flows. Yep. Like, if you swim against the current, you're gonna struggle. Yep. Turn around.
Right.
Take you right where you need to go. Right. Exactly. Let it go.
Oh. Yeah, I like that.
I think that's probably a good place.
That's a great place. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, that feels really satisfying, actually.
Awesome.
Very full circle.
Yeah, that was a good circle. Yeah. Thank you so much for finding the time. I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you soon.